Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about what Donald Trump said in a radio interview about 3 days ago. It was something really alarming and it is very dangerous. One of the most dangerous statements that Donald Trump has ever made. What did Donald Trump say? He said that if he got indicted for January the 6th insurrection, inciting January the 6th, or the classified documents that he is under investigation, he said that big problems will happen in America. What does this mean? People don't exactly understand what Donald Trump means by that. Actually, he means that he will incite his followers once again to wreak havoc and to go down to the streets in America and start clashing with police, attacking the Capitol maybe once again, or creating any kind of problems and violence in America. This is what Trump is threatening about, and it is a very dangerous situation for America. You have to take this very seriously. I am talking to everyone who is responsible in America, and especially the American people. The American people need to understand that they should not follow everything that Donald Trump is going to say. Why Donald Trump thinks he can't be indicted? He thinks he is above the law or what? Isn't America about the rule of law and respecting the Constitution and the integrity of the US election? Actually, Donald Trump thinks he is above the law and he thinks he can't be indicted. I think he has a really big ego and he thinks no one can ever criticize him. I think this guy, in my opinion, I don't hate him, in my opinion, because he is a public figure and he is supposed to be a presidential candidate, presumably. So I think he is, in my opinion, he has a very terrifying kind of ego and he thinks he is someone that you cannot attack personally. Trump is not a dangerous person, in my opinion. What makes him very dangerous is the people who follow him blindfoldedly without thinking, people who fall so easily to propaganda. They believe everything they listen to, everything they hear, whether on radio or in his speeches. Another thing you have to understand, I think that a significant part of Trump supporters are low educated people. I don't mean to disrespect them, but this is the fact of the matter. They believe in conspiracy theories and they believe in pseudoscience and stuff like that. This is very dangerous to America and very dangerous to the social fabric of America. Even though you slammed and you attacked the integrity of the US electoral system and the electoral process, even though you denied the election results in 2020, even though you lost the 2020 presidential election, look, I have no problem with you. If you want to run again, you are entitled. If you don't get indicted, you can run again for president. No problems. But at the same time, you have to understand that the statements you made on radio interview a few days ago, they are not really acceptable. I don't have any personal feud against Donald Trump on a personal level or anything like this. But like I told you, since he is supposed to run again for president, I really oppose most of Donald Trump's policies. When he was president, he spent 4 catastrophic years in office, in my opinion. People think I am brainwashed because I listen to liberal media and stuff like that. This is not true. I watch everything. I watch everything about the American media and everything about American politics and American foreign policy as well as American domestic policy. So you have to understand something here. I am not prejudiced and I have no agenda at all, but I have to express my opinion. This is my opinion that I have to express, and I am entitled to express fully my opinion without any kind of intimidation or any kind of muzzling or anything like that. Let me tell you, one of the terrible things that Donald Trump made when he was president of the US, in my opinion, actually the way he dealt with Russia. He praised Vladimir Putin. He met with Vladimir Putin in many occasions before, and actually he said he is a good guy and he loved him. Imagine, he praised Putin and he said about him that he is a fantastic guy. And when he was told that Putin is a killer, he said, "We are all killers." Come on. What kind of ridiculous justification to someone like Putin who is wreaking havoc right now in Ukraine? I think one of the main reasons why Putin decided to invade Ukraine, I think because he found Trump welcoming everything that he is doing, and I think because Donald Trump, when he was in office, he emboldened Vladimir Putin to take this dangerous step and try to attack Ukraine. And this is what's happening right now. We are watching Russia is wreaking havoc and they are trying to annex Ukraine, the entire country. I think so. Donald Trump, he has to be held responsible for allowing Putin, for emboldening Putin to attack Ukraine. Remember that he threatened to withdraw from NATO. Imagine that he completed this and he decided to withdraw from NATO. I mean, this is also another sign. This was another reason why Putin got emboldened and he encouraged him to start creating problems. Why? Because he found that there are differences and problems and disagreements between the US and NATO, and he made Putin think that America is not committed to NATO countries anymore. America is not committed to defend Europe as a whole. So he could again try to annex Ukraine. So this is another reason, and we have to take this into consideration. One of the reasons that Putin decided to start his war of aggression against the Ukrainian people. Do the American people want someone like Donald Trump to get back on office and to become president yet again? I don't think so, because America, they want a strong leader, someone who has firm principles against Russia, against China and North Korea. Clearly, America doesn't need a leader like Donald Trump who is going to curry favor and praise and say good things about Russia and China and embolden them more than what they are doing right now. I don't think so. So this is one of the reasons that the American people, I don't think they should not, I think they should not really put Donald Trump again in the office of the US, because the challenges ahead are very big. Currently, we are witnessing tensions and so much escalation from Russia against Ukraine. And no, I don't want someone like Donald Trump really to be really docile dealing with countries like Russia and China, in my opinion. No, we don't want something like this. I think America needs someone who is clear, someone who is open about Russia and China, someone who is gonna call the spade a spade, no question about that. And I think what Putin is doing in Ukraine right now is a terrible thing. In the end of this video, I want to say something here. Every president, he has, pros and cons. Of course, he made some positive things when he was president. 4 years in office. There is no question about that, you know. I understand. But when we compare the positives he made with the terrible decisions and the calamities and the problems he created when he was president, I think it's gonna be a disaster for him and nobody will remember any of his achievements. What did he do? He achieved something. He created more jobs. Let's say that he created millions of jobs like he claimed, but he destroyed them in a heartbeat, in a twinkling of an eye, when he dealt very badly with COVID crisis. He committed many other terrible things and decisions on foreign policy. So I don't think that he should be elected again, and the American people should be very aware of what's going on right now. When you are going to elect someone for the office of the presidency in 2024, you have to think mainly about the challenges abroad. You have to think about the war between Russia and Ukraine. Clearly, Donald Trump, I don't think he is going to deal well with the crisis in Europe. I think he is going to add more insult to the injury, in my opinion. Because imagine this guy, he didn't know how to deal with COVID 19. And he said really sarcastic comments about COVID 19. You think he's going to solve the problem in Europe, in Ukraine? Come on, you know, let's be realistic here. Anyway, thank you. I had to come out here and to speak out against what Donald Trump said on a radio interview a few days ago, because it really irritated me. It made me feel absolutely unhappy, and I think Donald Trump, he should watch his mouth the next interviews, and he should really think and deliberate very well before he says something like this, because what he said, it means that his followers, again, they will wreak havoc in America. We don't want to replicate what happened on January the 6th, because it was a terrible thing for Americans. It was a terrible thing, and everyone was watching across the world. You guys think nobody is watching? No, I am watching here, and many other people, millions of people, they are watching what's going on in America. So what happened on January 6th, I think it was an insult to democracy. It was an insult to the rule of law, definitely, and it was most importantly an insult to the American Constitution. Thank you, and see you in the next video.